Hello, welcome back to All Things Robotics, a series of informal conversations on robotics. We again have Professor Akul Thakur, Professor Sujay Kadam, and I am Harish P. Where do you see, from your perspective, a lot of traction and activity and interest in terms of applications and opportunities? And let's say, particularly in India, but you can also add your perspective globally. Where do you see, really growth happening, potential for a lot of opportunities?
So, yeah, the India perspective that I have on this is, the problems that we have is a lot of funding is required for any robotics kind of a, industry to be set up. So I really see affordable robotics as one of the opportunities. So whatever we do it in an affordable manner. So ISRO has sent Mangalyaan, and then that we did it in a very affordable manner. I thought we could have our own spin-off to robotics, which is very affordable. Presently, I think most of the robotics that we have is imported, and we kind of shape up things and then we bring it to our markets. That is where things can change, where we can have PLI schemes, product linkage, investment schemes, where industries are given an opportunity to manufacture everything locally. That's a big opportunity, I thought.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, affordability is one of the major issues, not only in robotics but other fields also. Uh, Particularly when we talk of Indian context. From the point of view of a beginning student who wants to get into the field of robotics, I view robotics two phases of robotics. Okay, one phase is where what kind of job I will land up into, what kind of employment opportunities, or what kind of livelihood opportunities lie in the field of robotics for me as a student. The second phase of robotics is what is the high tech thing that is happening in the field, and in what way I can make a dent, right? So these are two different aspects, and both are equally important. I'm not saying that one is better than other or one is worse than others. Both are equally important. We need to make continuous efforts in improving things that already exist, and that is the industry part of it. And we also need to come up with new developments, that is the research part of it, and both of them have to be taken up. And in fact, when a student approaches the field, they should first of all map themselves to one of these buckets. Not that they have to commit to one of these buckets and then stay with it, but they should see where their skill sets and where their aspirations lie, and then based upon that they can proceed further. So let's briefly talk about industry. So when we talk of industry in India and across the whole world, robotics is majorly being used in automotive industry, because automotive industry is the biggest employment generators in the what students nowadays call core fields, right? Where you make something, right? Uh, and within automotive industry, robots are playing role because it's a high mix, low volume kind of scenario where a lot of customization is also happening. So besides automotive industry, the other place where robotics is playing a huge role is healthcare now, right? So gone are those days where it was thought that all the procedures can only be done by humans. It is not to say that humans uh, are doing inferior than robots, but there is a lot of repetitive, what is called as dull, dirty, and dangerous. So what is the dull part of it? Those repetitive things can be done by robots. So there is a lot of robot assisted surgeries nowadays coming into the picture. So that is again a sector of industry where students can contribute. Agriculture is coming in a big way, where
Just wanted
precision.
to add a
Yeah.
little to. Do you think elderly support robotics is a thing?
Yeah, social robotics,
Social.
as you say. So social robotics is, if we talk of Indian context, it will come up in next 15 to 20 years. because now already our fertility rate is saturating at 2.1 or something, and that makes us predict that elderly population will increase, which is not right now in India. Right now, young population is very high and elderly population is less. So there are a lot of caregivers already existing in the society, hopefully. But in the future, that is not going to happen. But in advanced, in other societies like Japan, Germany, elderly population is increasing. So their social robotics, like elderly care, robots that can help Alzheimer patients, robots that can help even autistic children to learn in special education. So their social robotics has a big role to play. But I'm talking about first the big ticket items in Indian context. So agriculture is the next field where precision agriculture is coming in a big way, because all of us need food. See, I want to tell the students who are listening that yes, you may be very much interested in AI and computer science. It's great, right? But finally, AI and computer science is not going to produce food for you. The food is going to be produced in the farm. So AI can boost the productivity of the farm and get the food to your plate. And if you are approaching AI in that manner, that's great. But if you are approaching AI as a job provider, I mean, I'm sorry, but it is not going to be sustainable for a very long time. So think about it very carefully. We need, as like humans, we need transportation, we need food, we need shelter, right? So that's where next thing in robotics comes, which is smart city. So our cities are yet far from smart, but we have resolved to make our cities smart. And that will require robotics, that will require smart construction, right? So currently construction is totally manual labor driven work, and it is one of the most dangerous works where a lot of people get injured, lose limb and life as well. So robotics can actually make this work safe for humans and can improve the productivity, can improve the efficiency of the work. So these are some of the areas from the industry point of view. From high tech research, Harish is doing high tech research, so I'll let him speak about it.
No, I think both of you have highlighted a number of areas where there's a strong future potential. Uh, I would add to that a little bit of what we are seeing in terms of the projects we are currently working on. One, I think there's a lot of traction already we are seeing in space, as Sujay already mentioned, but also in defense. I think both of these domains, I think the robotics is entering in a big way. And I do think, I think I'm seeing enough evidence of this around me, that while we were importing robots, until even now in large measure, but there is a lot of activity in terms of smaller startups developing solutions in India, developing robots in India. Defense sector, space sector are two big sectors that are driving some of these innovations. So I think the public is not yet seeing a lot of robots made in India, but it is already there. It's the critical mass is not enough that it is visible to the public, but within 2-3 years, possibly, a lot more will be visible. So a lot of startups making robots of various kinds for some of these applications. In terms of sectors, I think space, defense, and then I fully agree with some of the other sectors highlighted. I think industrial automation, when you said automotive, agriculture, future potential, certainly. I think today may not be that big in terms of robotics penetration. Uh, but I think all in all, seeing the growth in all of these sectors, I get a sense that we are just under the radar today, but in 5-10 years, really the robotics scene in India is going to transform, where there's so much activity going on that there will be so many Indian companies, so many Indian robots for different applications. It may not be the kind of applications that are in the West, as some of you have highlighted, Certainly, healthcare is a big area even in India, but not the kind of assistive robots or social robots at the moment. Maybe, as you said, 20 years later.
Yeah. So we need to be poised for that kind of development, and
Yes.
that's why education in robotics is very important. And young people like you must embrace this so that after 20 years we have some solutions available. Otherwise, we'll again miss the race.
Absolutely.
So just like we had our IT revolution 20 years back, do you foresee like a robotics revolution in India?
It's already going. We are
Yes.
part of it. In fact,
Absolutely.
I just want to give statistics that you might be aware of. Out of 10,000 people, uh, uh, the number of robots in China is of the order of few hundreds, 300 or something. Um, US is at the similar level, maybe slightly more or less. India, it is of the order of tens. So there is a huge appetite for robotic solutions in Indian industry and Indian populace, which you can see in your homes. I mean, now many of you might be using, or quite a few of you might be using robotic cleaners, which was not even thought about earlier. So there are many tasks that we do today will be eventually replaced by some machines which are like robots, and they will be doing that work. So there's a lot of appetite for robotics, and it's a field that is upcoming, and a robotics revolution is going on right now.
No, I absolutely agree. I think we are just at the start of robotics revolution. I don't know what to call it, hardware revolution or robotics revolution or products, hardware, software, integrated products. I think we are at the right place. I think there's a lot of potential. So I think that's a good place to stop. So closing word, would you say robotics is an exciting field for a student to enter now, future potential within India? How would you sum up?
So, I mean, I would like to be a youngster today because it's such an exciting time to work in the field of robotics, to learn. I mean, when I was starting with the field of robotics, AI was there, as I said earlier, but it was not at the stage where AI is today. So I can see so much that can be done with the present day AI with robotics. There is so much of development in the field of embedded systems and electronics, which was not there 20 years ago or 10 years ago. So there's a lot of excitement in the industry about robotics, and definitely, I mean, I would like to be part of it for next more than a decade. And I think that young people should be very excited because they are at their prime, and then
This is the right time,
this is
right
the right time.
opportunity.
Yeah, just the right
I completely agree. And as a student, I never took subjects in robotics, but now I feel it's such an exciting area that we are all now working on very interesting projects in robotics. So, uh, thank you all for tuning in. So, closing word is very exciting area to be in, and if you're a youngster just starting out on your career, this is an area that you can look at very seriously.